5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
In an effort to serve you better, GUT Credit Union has moved its Grandance branch from the Lamaki complex to the Excel Plaza. This new location provides more convenient parking with access from two entrances. The first is from the lower parking area and the second is at the top parking area on the same level as our office for easy walk-in access. Visit GUT Credit Union at our new location and experience the comfortable atmosphere with the enhanced member experience you have come to expect of us. Our Grandance office is open 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. We hope to see you soon. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. In the headlines, National Democratic Congress introduces its first batch of caretakers as political leader Deacon Mitchell fully commits himself to the political process. Medical doctor highlights the issue of abandonment at hospitals, citing the use of health services as a daycare for family members. Acting Chief Medical Officer reports a decline in the number of respiratory complaints since the introduction of face masks. Coming up in regional developments, Trinidadian promoter defends weekend concert after social media backlash about COVID-19 protocols. And internationally, Honduras's ex-president detained less than a month after leaving office as the U.S. seeks extradition. And coming up a little later in sports, Nicholas Pooran shines as West Indies loses its first T20 match against India. The details of these and other stories are straight ahead.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening once again. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh with the details. Special good evening to the listeners of Classic 105. Top story tonight, the first slate of caretakers to possibly represent the National Democratic Congress at the next general elections was introduced to the public on Wednesday. The gears of the electoral machinery are seemingly in full swing as it is anticipated to be a keenly contested campaign. Gerald Joseph has tonight's top story.
It is being described as a mixture of youth and experience, as 6 caretakers of the south and western flanks and 1 on the east were introduced by the executive of the National Democratic Congress on Wednesday. Deacon Mitchell takes over as caretaker for St. David, replacing Deputy Political Leader Adrian Thomas, who according to Mitchell will not be running for office. One of Grenada's youngest ever senators, Queen James, now caretaker for St. John, says it's time for the nation's youth to come forward to represent.
With this same youthful exuberance, a burning desire to see real development happen in our country, my love for politics and nation building, the call from the people, and a sign from God that now is the time for us youth to come forward in a meaningful way. I have offered myself to be a servant for the people of St. John.
Former secondary school principal Jonathan Lacrette has pitched himself in the ring as caretaker for St. George Northwest to face off against Prime Minister Dr. Kit Mitchell.
I am a young man that is not deficient where confidence is concerned at all. You can take that to the bank and cash it.
Lacrette says life is about change and transition, as well as the forerunners who paved the way, as he was quizzed on his chances at the next general election.
The current MP for St. George's Northwest, my good friend, he has served and he has paid his dues, and we thank him for his contribution to politics and his contribution to the constituency of St. George's Northwest for almost 40 years of representation. But we think that it is time that the constituency be transformed into a community with sustainable development initiatives for all to benefit from.
Businessman Quince Britton has been named caretaker for the constituency of St. Mark.
If it's one thing that I could say that St. Mark, we are very loyal. And we have been loyal to one organization that has kept us in a state in which the French had named us Grand Pauvre. This was the reason why I stepped forward. Rather than staying on the side and just talk, I stepped forward to be the change that I want to see in my constituency.
Claudette Joseph returns as caretaker for the town of St. George for his second consecutive election cycle. Joseph Andal is back for a third term as caretaker for St. Patrick West, pledging his continued fight for the parish. Chairman of the party, Tevin Andrews, returns as caretaker for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, the announcement of the 7 caretakers for the NDC means that Deacon Mitchell, as political leader, has fully committed himself to the political process. Mr. Mitchell, now the official caretaker for the constituency of St. David, can begin his campaign to become the parliamentary representative, with eyes set on becoming the next Prime Minister. We hear more in this Gerard Joseph report, as he says Deacon has made plans and his plans known during the caretaker launch on Wednesday.
Caretakers represent the best of Grenada and will commit to putting the residents of their constituencies first. Words of Deacon Mitchell, political leader of the National Democratic Congress, who notes the party's first task is to henceforth represent the citizens of their constituencies, whether or not there is an election, or within or outside the Houses of Parliament. Mitchell, who was also endorsed as the St. David caretaker, says the job of an MP is to be accessible and available to listen, dialogue, and advocate on behalf of constituents.
I intend to do just that. I intend to represent your interests at all times, to the best of my ability. I intend to ensure that our children have access to basic sporting facilities, to playgrounds. They do not currently exist.
He says the plight of the fishermen with no jetty in the entire St. David parish is an issue that warrants immediate attention.
They have access not to a single facility to help them with storage, chilling, or cleaning of fish. Our farmers, our market vendors, have access not to a single public space except one provided by the National Democratic Congress at Corinth in St. David.
As a caretaker, he is promising to transform the parish of St. David into a commercial hub while ensuring skills training is provided in all constituencies.
I intend, not just in St. David, but as political leader of the National Democratic Congress, to ensure that skills training centers are established throughout the length and breadth of Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, so that our young women and men, as well as our older citizens who wish to pursue skills training so that they could become self-employed persons, entrepreneurs, or employees, can do so.
The NDC political leader says the focus must be on the development of the people, as well as to ensure St. David's remains true to its name as the Virgin Parish.
We have not replanted our spices. We have not replanted our spices. I intend to ensure that our cloves, cinnamon, nutmegs are replanted in a systematic and national way with full support of the government that we will form.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
In other news, it appears that some Grenadians are using the services at the nation's hospitals to relieve themselves from family responsibility, especially ahead of festive seasons and occasions in Grenada. Cherian Blackman-Stephen has this report.
It has become apparent to those in authority that some people look at health institutions as the perfect escape to set aside responsibility to loved ones while gaining free time to enjoy themselves. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Taisha Donald addressed the issue of abandonment at health facilities in Grenada.
Matter of fact, there are cases that during festive seasons, family members sometimes, look at the hospital as let's say a daycare. So what happens is that medication sometimes is not given. Patients end up in hospital, and then the persons who are caring are free to socialize. And this is a trend we have seen over many years, and it continues to happen.
Dr. Donald, speaking during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, said there is often a spike in admissions at hospitals during the festive season, adding that last Christmas was no different.
During the festive times, we generally have a spike in the number of admissions, and Christmas was no different. We've had an increase in the number of persons coming in with the NCDs, the non-communicable diseases, uncontrolled diabetes, hypertension, strokes, kidney disease. So we have had an increase, leading to our overcrowding at our general hospitals, all of our hospitals across the Tri-Island state. So yes, we have seen an increase in cases, particularly the non-communicable diseases, which continue to be a problem.
The victims of this type of neglect are both children and adults.
It happens with adults as well as with children. The good thing, as I said, the hospital is a safe place for the kids and for the adults, but it is a trend we've seen, and, it's not something that we should be proud of, but it is something that we have noted over the years. So it is across the board.
Cherian Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
6 weeks after its closure because it was being undermined, the River Road Public Road will reopen to vehicular traffic on Thursday. The road was closed with immediate effect early last month due to an unfolding situation of the undermining of the roadway with progressive collapse along the road surface, which posed a serious risk to the general public. Traffic leaving and entering the town of St. George was then diverted to Mount Rush Public Road. However, after remedial work was carried out over the last month and a half, the roadway is once again able to facilitate the traffic flow. Members of the motoring public are, however, encouraged to exercise due care and caution when using this roadway and to expect slight delay in the flow of traffic due to continuous work on the St. John's River Mitigation Project. This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up, Acting Chief Medical Officer reports a decline in the number of respiratory complaints since the introduction of face masks. That story next.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
On Sunday, February 27th, Mega Force Promotions per set. The 36th edition of Waggy Virtual Bingo. Purchase a ticket now for your chance to win US $10,000. Tickets cost only $10 US. Get yours today from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. If you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofet.com. So, if you need cash now, remember, Sunday, February 27th, join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy Virtual Bingo and win!
Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first. Save energy, save a time. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first.
The more you mind your business, the less you mind your car. The less attention you give to your car, the more you draw attention, but the wrong kind. Our business is to make sure that no one rides on your car and to see to it that when you pull up, you do so in style, clean and crisp. JP's Magical Car Wash, Morris Bishop Highway, 419-5855.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences. Hassle-free home ownership.
Get the kind of value you love that's unmatched at Quartz Now. We're unmatched in quality and prices. Get appliances, electronics, furniture, and much more. You will love it. Get it now and pay nothing for 30 days with Ready Finance. Plus, shop now and get a chance to win a luxury staycation for two. Now that's unmatched value. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends February 28, 2022.
And leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
My grandson feel he was a big man before he reached secondary school. Telling me about new gadgets to make life easy. But he busting up the food his granny cook with her two hands. And Kern's a good boy. I know. I raised him. I know he doesn't like seeing me work too hard. He worries. Before I had my first heart attack, he was excited to live near his university campus. So I felt guilty when he decided to live at home to take care of me. And getting to class and back, he would travel, he said. But I got him a little car anyway, much safer. Graduated, recently got married, and he's doing well for himself with all his tech. He still thinks he knows more than me, but to be honest, I don't know how I would have managed without him.
Your life is your story. Let's help you write it on your terms.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Many fret about having to wear face masks in public spaces due to COVID-19, but a medical doctor says apart from curbing the spread of the virus, it is helping some people who battle respiratory illnesses. Let's get more in this report from Cherry and Blackman Stephen.
Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Taisha Donald says results show that the wearing of masks have helped in decreasing the number of respiratory complaints received at health facilities in the country.
The little organisms and so would be trapped. And you're also protected from external factors in terms of your pollen and so, because of course we're wearing masks. So what we've noted is that in terms of respiratory illness, and I'm a pediatrician, so I could also speak to that, we have not seen a significant number of persons with respiratory illness based on the fact, of course, it's all related to the wearing of the face mask. So persons, we have some protection there, if we can call it that.
Face mask was introduced in 2020 following confirmation of the country's first COVID case. Legislation was implemented under the emergency powers in 2020 for every citizen to wear a mask or a suitable covering over their nose and mouth whenever they leave their home, attempt to enter or is in line to enter a place of business, government offices, and while in a motor vehicle with any other person. She said the face mask was very beneficial as health officials did not have to battle with a major intake of patients battling respiratory issues.
So there's been a decrease, but we continue to have, but not as much as we would have seen, particularly, for example, in the flu season. So let's say between September and March, normally we see quite a number of patients with asthma, wheezing, bronchiolitis, these type of illnesses, bronchitis. But now, of course, we still see these cases, but not as much as we would have seen in the past because, of course, persons are being protected by wearing the face mask. So the face mask has really helped us in that sense. So we have not had to battle with so much with the traditional respiratory illnesses plus the COVID. The COVID ones were the ones predominating. But the wearing of face masks has impacted in terms of these numbers. All right, so I hope
While some COVID protocol measures were further relaxed on Tuesday, Grenada remains under a state of emergency, which is expected to expire in May, unless discussions set for next week take that off the table. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
SIAP has approved 10 CSA grant financing contracts for 10 of 43 beneficiaries targeted under Phase 1 of the U.S. $14 million Climate Smart Agriculture Grant Financing Program. The signing of the contracts signaled the commencement and implementation of Phase 1 of the CSA grants under the SIAP program. Government is partnering with the International Fund for Agriculture Development and the Caribbean Development Bank to fund the program. Head of the Rural Development and Program Manager of SIAP, Byron Campbell, spoke about the importance of investing in farmers.
This grant facility, we have approximately $3 million Eastern Caribbean dollars that were provided to a total of 180 beneficiaries, and that includes backyard gardeners, but that includes fishers, and that includes agriculture farmers, and it's all intended to adopt, to engage for mitigation and adaptation purposes, climate smart practices because of the future, the uncertainty of climate conditions going forward. And so this is a measure that would ensure that that adequate measures are taken in advance of these adverse conditions to secure families and livelihoods in particular.
CSA coordinator of SIAP, Kenley Edwards, says they are hoping to assist 180 people by the time they complete Phase 10 of the program. This will include 5 beneficiaries identified in Carriacou. Edwards spoke about the scope of projects of interest.
The proposals range from fish processing, fish pots, to rainwater harvesting, crop and livestock. We're looking at a total of roughly of about 94,000 EC thereabout in terms of the allocation of the funds.
The program aims to finance 120 grant projects and 60 backyard gardening projects. In other news, the National Disaster Management Agency, with the assistance of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDEMA, has ensured an adequate supply of backup power just in case it's needed during a disaster. The facility that houses such supply is now complete, as we hear from NADMA's Communications Officer, Oslin Crosby.
The project funded by CDEMA under the Country Direct Fund was aimed at building the capacity at the community level. National Disaster Coordinator is Mr. Benedict Peters.
In the event of a hurricane, which is the most popular hazard that we prepare for, we need to make sure that there is what we call backup power. Right? So it's just building the robustness at the community level.
Mr. Peters provided some details on the buildings and additional work currently being undertaken on the project.
With that project, we have 2 generator houses that are completed. And right now we are doing the electrical infrastructure so that when we put the generators in, then all we have to do is to plug on. So the electrical infrastructure is presently being worked on, so that whenever the generators are installed, then we will have power, backup power. So if Grand Lake goes down for any period of time, we will actually have power at our communities in Black Bay and River Sally, which are, the Black Bay will be serving the St. John's area and the River Sally will be serving the St. Patrick's area. So it's just part of the process of building the robustness at the community level in relation to disaster management.
In addition to building community resilience, Mr. Peters spoke to the other advantages the structure will provide. Oslin Crosby of the Public Relations Unit of the National Disaster Management Agency.
There are 2
That was the Communications Officer at the National Disaster Management Agency, Oslin Crosby. And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Akisha John has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Today's Social Buzz will focus on GBN's nightly news, where tensions ran high at the Grenville Magistrates Court on Tuesday morning, when Kelly Daniel made his first court appearance after being accused of brutally murdering John Merchant over the weekend. GBN brought the story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Kadnisha hosting Belfon. Everyone knows he's a lovely child, but mama mental health is a problem not paid attention to can be detrimental. I am so sorry for both families. Two lovely souls were lost on the same day. Sometimes we do need clarification because we think a person can't do much. But when they're mentally challenged and having a meltdown, you really don't know what's going on in their minds. Melanin Orchid Prince. I just can't seem to understand, neither wrap my common sense around this. What can cause someone to react so brutally to another human? Heather John. So basically, she's trying to say someone else killed him and make her nephew take the fall because he's mentally ill? Okay. Lisa Mueller. Forensics can be done to make it clear. There must be signs of his killing somewhere. Lynette Charles. Yes, because all how you put it, 2 lives lost. One dead and the other will be in jail for the rest of his life if he found guilty. I have 2 sons. I wouldn't want that for them. And you can say that can't happen to you and your family? We don't know what can cause someone to flip. I pray for both family to find peace in the name of Jesus. Shishi Charles. But there seemed to be some kind of spirit lingering around, because I could recall a man from the same St. Andrew parish chop a man's head clean and place it in a plastic bucket and drop it off in the Grenville police station. I was not around, did not see, but this doesn't seem to make much sense. Then it was said he was charged. Was there an eyewitness to confirm that they saw him doing the act, or know that the deceased and him had any altercation before or leading up to the incident? So guilty, or is he innocent until proven guilty? Confused. That is it for tonight's Social Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, Public Workers Union engage members in financial education. That story right after this.
It's finally here. The long-awaited historical drama, Julian Fedon, is finally here. One man with a sense of destiny. 14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
Julian Fedon, presented by Heritage Theatre Company in conjunction with the Grenada Broadcasting Network, the Grenada Cooperative Bank, the Grenada National Lotteries Authority. Opening Saturday, 12 February, 7 p.m. at the Trade Center, and continuing. Experience the conflict.
Close down their churches, every one of them.
Feel the passion. The epic drama of a people caught up in a desperate struggle for freedom.
Seems to me like you are trying to get yourself killed.
Julian Fedon, bring out the entire family and enjoy an experience in Grenadian theater.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What if there was a place in Grenada that was close to Grand Dance Beach, within walking distance of restaurants and attractions, and you didn't have to pay hundreds of dollars to stay there? Guess what? There is. Look us up.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. Officials within the Public Workers Union say some of their members are now more financially aware and educated following a forum held last Wednesday. Public Relations Officer Daisy Hazard says the financial forum was well received by union members and other interested people, with almost 200 attendees listening and engaging in the panel. Hazard says the forum has created a buzz among workers, having learned about managing expectations and living within their means.
What workers found valuable in this time is that irregardless to what your salary is, irregardless to what your own personal and individual financial situation is, we know that we're still living through an ongoing pandemic and that our economies are so far managing, but that the world is sort of experiencing a bit of a financial meltdown. And so all of us could benefit and did benefit from that forum in terms of thinking ahead, strategizing for the future, planning how to better manage our monies, planning how to invest, how to diversify our income streams, and not just depending necessarily on the little salaries that we have.
She says the union has recognized the need for clear policy directives and changes to how contract workers receive salary slips and decent job letters to avoid stumbling blocks when approaching GDB for the recently launched Loan for Contract Workers.
We had a presentation from the manager of the GDB on the loan offer that is made to non-regularized workers, and that session was very, very enlightening. Even within the union executive, we learned a lot. So we are now in a better position to educate our workers about it, to say to them, we're not saying the persons go take a loan. What we're saying is go find out. Go see what can be done for you based on your own needs and what you think your needs are and your wants are. So we're now in a better place. We understand it better, and we know that in general terms it is a very, very good offer for those workers who are legal.
And now it's time for us to take a peek through the GBN ISOR lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOR is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's I Saw features a poem by a creative local artist, Akel John. Our I Saw reporter pens his thoughts, feelings, and emotions in what he considers to be his safe haven. Teardrop by Akel John. Face first on the pillow he laid. Mind consumed by days and days coated in grey. A dark cloud stalks him relentlessly as if he was its prey. Internal monologue is his only company. Crying alone is common courtesy. Heartbroken is putting it mildly. Rain falls, clearly visible as he gloomed through the window of his room. The weather seems to be the physical manifestation of his sadness as it rains. Just as much on the inside as can be seen on the outside. Windows to the soul, what a sight to behold. Glisten with the beauty of sadness and pain. With an agitated vein, eyes of blood cannot be tamed. As he sits pondering in the rain, and who is to be blamed for the non-stop teardrop that trickles down in the drain? Only himself ought to be blamed, following a she-devil into the flame. We thank our ISO reporter for this expressive submission. Continue to send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And stay with us. The weather report and forecast is up next, followed by sports, regional and international developments.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now. We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carrico. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
She was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you. I never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. I had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. Being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
Sunday, February 27th, it's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
This is the last time that you will hear me for a while. This is the last time that you will hear me for a while.
Don't miss the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Tune into this station Sunday, February 27th, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time, 2 p.m. Jamaica Time.
Experienced drivers, you've ruled the road. Now you can enjoy the rewards with Beacon's 50-plus car insurance plan. Get hassle-free sign-up, affordable payment options, and a free windscreen cover. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get driving with Beacon today.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spicile Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spicile Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spicile Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grandlands. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679. or 406-1500, or visit any of our 3 locations. Spicile Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
And here's the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature, 23.5 degrees Celsius. The weather will be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with isolated showers. Winds will be northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 9 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect, so take note. Tides will be low tonight at 10 p.m. and high at 4 a.m. On Thursday, sunrise is at 6:29 a.m. and sunset 6:15 p.m. It will be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with possible morning and nighttime showers. Then on Friday, sunrise is once again at 6:29 a.m. and sunset 6:15 p.m. It will be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with a few brief showers, mainly during the evening and the night. Sunrise and sunset once again 6:29 a.m. and 6:15 p.m. respectively. It will be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and breezy with a few brief morning and nighttime showers. And that's the weather report and forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned, sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's ball off with cricket. Nicholas Pooran slammed an impressive 61 in a losing effort, though, as the West Indies went under to India in the first of the three-match T20 series. Put into bat, the Windies were in trouble early, with King falling to Kumar in the first innings. Pooran then joined Mayers, with the pair taking the tally to 52 before Myers went for 31 via the LBW route. With wickets falling, the right-handed Pooran played the anchor role before he was caught by Kohli off the bowling of Patel in the 17th over. His knock of 61 consisted of 4 fours and 5 sixes. Captain Pollard was left not out on 24 as Windies reached 157 for 7. India scored 162 for 4, winning by 6 wickets. Game 2 is on Friday at 9:30 a.m. Let's take in some highlights from today's match.
This time he's connected and it's gone a very, very long way. The first 6. He's gone straight away. Touch and go, touch and go. Oh, he's touched. He caught it fairly inside the boundary, going upstairs. Oh.
Okay, keep rolling, keep rolling. Yeah, it's not out on the big screen.
Now, has that hit outside off? Has that hit outside off? No, says the umpire. Up goes the finger.
And wickets umpire's call, going back to Madan on field.
Well, it was in line, just clipping the top of the stump. So Kyle Myers, interesting innings.
And that's Pooran's role against the wrist spinner. This time he's gotten him.
Oh, he's taken it.
Pitching outside off, impact in line, and wicket sitting, going back to Madan on field.
Yeah, that stays. That was plumb in front, and that's first wicket, first international wicket for Ravi Bishnoi.
Something very few West Indian batsmen do is play that sweep. Brilliant save by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Got another one. 2 in the over for Bishnoi.
Game 2 between West Indies and India bowls off Friday at 9:30 a.m. and you can catch ball-by-ball coverage on Classic 105.5, 105.9. Still in cricket, Cricket West Indies today released an extra 2,500 tickets per match day for the second Apex Test match between West Indies and England at the Kensington Oval in Barbados, which will be held from March 16th to the 20th. This release of tickets follows the Barbados Ministry of Health and Wellness's announcement of an easing of capacity restrictions that previously applied to Kensington Oval, which will now see a maximum 80% capacity allowed for the second Apex Test match. Last month, due to the COVID-19 protocols, the venue was capped at 50% for the Betway T20 International Series between the two teams, which the West Indies won 3-2. The highly anticipated Apex Test Series will be played for the newly minted Richards Botham Trophy. It will start appropriately at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua on March 8th. The action then moves to Kensington Oval in Barbados for the second Apex Test, with a third Test match here in the Spice Isle of Grenada at the National Stadium on March 24th to the 28th. The Apex Test Series is a key fixture in both teams' International Cricket Council World Test Championship schedule, which will determine the best Test match team in the world by 2023. And finally, we move now to football. The senior Spice Princesses are locked in action tonight in their CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers against the Dominican Republic. Head coach Jake Rennie says the team has gained much confidence in their abilities on the field and he is looking forward to them doing their best. The team is captained by Judy McIntosh. Speaking ahead of tonight's outing, confidence was high in the camp.
My expectation of the game tomorrow is that we come out to the win, we play hard, do what coach gave us, and just come out to execute.
For the game, I hope that we come out to win, and the girls expect lots of starting training. I expect great things from our players tomorrow as we come out and fight and make our country proud.
In training and I will do determination and passion, I know that we can come out with a win.
Field, and I expect us to go out there and give everything we've got to the last whistle blows
tomorrow. I think that we have been training really hard, and the coach has been putting on a lot, and we're going to go out there and play hard and get a win for Grenada.
And I expect us to get some points on the scoreboard and make our country proud and do our best.
Of course, we'll bring you the results of tonight's game in a subsequent newscast. The second leg of the qualifiers will take place here at home when Grenada hosts Jamaica on Sunday at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium from 5 p.m. And that's a look at sports. Stay with us. Regional and international news are up next. Now let's take a look at regional and international news. We begin in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, where the promoter of a carnival concert over the weekend is defending the event in the face of some social media backlash about COVID-19 protocols. But the company behind the event says people are judging based on short clips posted to social media. Let's get more in this report from CNC3 News.
Voices Peace of Mind was the opportunity these patrons longed for to free up. The outdoor amphitheater of the Naprima Bowl came alive on Friday night, with patrons enjoying what was one of the first physical carnival events in 2 years. But while patrons partied the best way they knew how to, those on the outside are concerned. The issue, people dancing in crowds unmasked. On social media, one person pointed out the virus can still spread despite patrons being fully vaccinated. Others forecast a spike in cases once the carnival activities subside. But according to the event's promoter, they were expecting public criticism. He says the event was a success and criticisms stem from people not understanding the full picture of what transpired.
Obviously, people were drinking, their masks would be off, similar to being in a restaurant or bar when you go any day.
As for the close dancing, he says rain fell at the outdoor venue, forcing patrons to come together to share shelter.
Those people that we saw dancing was dancing within their zone then, within their area. You came with your boyfriend or your wife or your husband or your family member, that is who you sat with, and that is who you basically would have been able to, dance with a bit.
According to internal medicine specialist Dr. Joel Tilaksing, the event was held outdoors, which will help reduce the risk of transmission. However, he says this does not mean it can't happen.
There is nothing like a total safe zone. An absolute safe zone does not exist, especially with the arrival of highly transmissible variants such as the Omicron that have the potential to evade vaccines.
So he says while vaccinations is still one of the best tools to fight the pandemic, he says people need to be cautious at these events. He suggests people ensure to wear high-quality masks such as the N95s. Rashad Khan, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, Honduran police have detained ex-President Juan Orlando Hernandez on Tuesday, escorting him from his home in handcuffs and chains following a U.S. extradition request on drug charges that marked a dramatic fall from grace only weeks after Hernandez left power. Here's Al Jazeera with that report.
Less than 3 weeks ago, Juan Orlando Hernandez was president of Honduras. Now he's been arrested by Honduran police following an extradition order by the United States. Security forces were called in on Monday night to surround the wealthy neighborhood where the former president of Honduras lives. Prosecutors in New York have repeatedly accused the former president of involvement in drug trafficking and alleging his political rise was fueled by drug profits.
We've been calling for his arrest since 2015, when we denounced that the former president was a drug trafficker, corrupt and associated with criminals.
Hernandez was president of Honduras for 8 years. U.S. prosecutors have accused him of receiving millions of dollars in exchange for protecting drug shipments through the country. The money was reportedly also used to bribe politicians and help his political career. The former president has repeatedly denied the allegations. In an audio recording on Tuesday, he said he was willing to voluntarily turn himself in.
I'm ready to collaborate and voluntarily go to the authorities the moment the Supreme Court judge is assigned to this case so that I can face the situation and defend myself accordingly.
Hours later, a judge appointed by the Supreme Court of Honduras issued an order for the president's arrest. U.S. prosecutors claim that during his time in office, the former Honduran leader helped to facilitate the trafficking of some 500,000 kilos of cocaine into the United States, calling this a case of state-sponsored drug trafficking. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera.
And finally, Zimbabwe's government suspended thousands of teachers for 3 months without pay for going on strike and demanding more money. Striking teachers say rising inflation is eating away at their salaries and they want to be paid in U.S. dollars.
It's another week of children going to school in Zimbabwe and doing nothing constructive because there are no staff. The government suspended thousands of teachers for 3 months without pay for going on strike, demanding more money.
We are not learning, we are now playing. Yes. There are no teachers, we are now roaming around.
The government has offered teachers a 20% pay increase, payment of part of their salaries in US dollars, and other incentives, including free education for their children and loans for housing. But unions rejected the offer, saying it's still not enough.
The government here employs about 140,000 teachers nationwide. It's not known exactly how many of them are on strike. The education department says they can be replaced with thousands of unemployed teachers currently looking for work.
Munyara Dimasiwa sells gas from his house to supplement his income. He and other suspended teachers want at least $540 US a month. Right now, they're earning less than $100.
A teacher gets about 80 US right now, and you need to break that amount into transport allowance, there is the housing allowance, and the basic salary is also included in that 80 US.
Economists warn paying salaries in American dollars will fuel inflation. With no side so far willing to budge, there is little to no learning taking place in many of Zimbabwe's public schools. Haru Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Harare.
And that's regional and international news. Stay tuned. Recap the headlines next. Now let's take a look back at what made news tonight. National Democratic Congress introduces its first batch of caretakers as political leader Deacon Mitchell fully commits himself to the political process. Medical doctor highlights the issue of abandonment at hospitals, citing the use of the hospital service as a daycare for family members. Acting Chief Medical Officer reports a decline in the number of respiratory complaints since the introduction of face masks. In regional news, Trinidadian promoter defends weekend concert after social media backlash about COVID-19 protocols. And internationally, Honduras's ex-president detained less than a month after leaving office as the U.S. seeks extradition. And in sports, Nicholas Puran shines as the West Indies loses its first T20 international against India. And that's the end of GBN Nightly News for Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire GBN News team, I am Alexis-Welsh. Enjoy the rest of your wonderful Wednesday.